help in, now that you have gone through that journey, does it help not having a fixed set of thoughts or not having some traditional mindset towards business? Did you ever, think it was a boon, or was it always a sort of a bane or a
No,
disadvantage?
I don't think so.
Not being from the business background, did it help in any way? Do you
So
think?
I think what happened was, somewhere at the heart, we were engineers and we were approaching every problem like an engineering.
Uh,
And let's say maybe a business person would have approached it very differently. And I think maybe there are a lot of pros of both the approaches, but the engineering mindset. So we approached even the business like engineering. So everything was like a funnel for us. Everything was a funnel optimization, right? Even hiring and anything you pick, it was a funnel. So we approached it that way, and I think in context of Shuttl, it helped quite a lot because Shuttl was not a problem. Which there was no precedent before Shuttl, like for a business, for a business model like that. So anything and everything that we were doing, for a large part, we were doing it for the first time, and that engineering mindset actually helped. That okay, how do we look at problem absolutely first principles manner, and maybe a businessman would have just looked at okay that I mean obviously I'm generalizing here, but maybe would have looked at a solved problem and looked at how do you adopt that template, but that was not the case here. So that in some sense that sort of not knowing that helped. Of course, the risk appetite aspect. I didn't really have that kind of a risk appetite. That okay, I'm not willing to give up my monthly salary at that point of time. So we had created like three criteria for ourselves that okay, before we leave the job, these three things should be fulfilled. First thing was a minimum bank balance. Second thing was that we should have a prototype of whatever that we are chasing ready. And third thing is sort of soft commitment from some investor. And honestly, when we left, none of the three criteria we were fulfilled. It was like that. Okay, now we have to do it, and we can't wait any longer. So let's just take the plunge. And
right. That urge existed. You have to do it no
yeah,
matter what.
and at some point of time, the moment, so we realized, while we were like I said that I was there in Japan for almost 2 years. For almost about a year on weekends, we were discussing ideas and all. But the moment you do it full time, it's an entirely different thing. So and
Of course. So you spent about a year before starting out thinking about the idea. Is that
yeah,
right?
yeah. So we were like while it was like I said that from we didn't really realize that we are not discussing it in the depth and the seriousness that it required. So while it was 1 year of weekend meeting and discussing it, but it was not full time, and full time is very different because now you have that. Now there is no question of salary and all.
Right.
So it was a completely different ballgame the moment we moved out.
Right. There's no pressure. I think that's the
Yeah,
biggest
there
thing.
is no pressure. It's okay. For you to and the moment you leave your job and you're not getting your salary, every month, and suddenly it seems very different. Right? You have to make it work, right? And it helps, right?